Today we're going to check out a tool you probably didn't even know existed. Comes out in 2025. That's the Gerber Dual Force. It is a beastie set of pliers. This is going to be take two. We're going to try this all over again because last time we didn't have audio. God, that's okay. Coming up next, right here on Better Biomed. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Better Biomed, guys. If this sounds like it was rehearsed, it's because I've already done this video and I didn't have audio. And God, it's such a it's so irritating when this kind of stuff happens. But guys, we're gonna press through it because this is an amazing tool. Now, normally I'm a Leatherman fanboy because that's what was given to me in the military, and it's American-made tool, and I love Leathermans. However, I seen in the Bass Pro Shops this tool right here, and I stopped in my tracks because I thought, holy cow, that's what I need for my car because I got a little grab bag tool bag in there, and this guy right here is it. It's beefy, it's 12 ounces of metal goodness, and it folds up and stows into a little pouch like that. I love it. This is the Dual Force, and guys, it's slip joint pliers. It's slip joint pliers. And anybody that has used slip joint pliers before knows the beauty of it. Look at the size of fastener that you can get on this beefy set of pliers. Take a look at that. Now what we have here is laminated EDM cut metal. And what they've done is they put them together with a bunch of rivets. And there's the slip joint. It is a beast, absolute beast. And these things fold up and down with minimal effort. And I absolutely love that about Gerber tools, is they always unfold with minimal effort. And I cannot say that about my Leathermans. Some of my Leathermans will pinch your skin and stuff like that when you go to open them up because some of them open like trash. And I've used them for years. Some of you that say, oh, you just got to break them in. I've used them for decades and they still open like trash. It's just some of them are just made a little bit too tight. It is what it is. This one here, you can see that what they did is they folded the metal over. So I have 4 layers of metal that comprise these jaws. And we have a large opening, a small opening, and then, unusual, they actually have almost like a needle nose tip. Now, what is really good about these pliers compared to all the Leathermen is the Leathermen use needle nose pliers, which they have a time and place. There's many functions, especially assembling small things, where a needle nose comes in handy. However, if I'm working around machinery and I'm around my car, having the ability to grab extra large fasteners is a big thing. And also, these beefy jaws can do something that needle nose cannot. They can handle torsion. So look at, I'm grabbing onto these. If I were to do this with needle nose pliers, the needle nose would be doing this, okay? Needle nose, you'll booger them up permanently if you try grabbing a fastener or something with them and twisting it. See that? I could probably break off the tips or bend these shears, which I love these shears, so I'm not going to damage them. But I'm clearly putting a hell of a lot of force on them. And these guys are just eating it for breakfast. These are beefy pliers and they're slip joints, which means in one configuration, they do not come to a complete close. However, they can grab on to an inch, inch and a half fastener. That's pretty darn big. And if we slide it to the other, they do come to a point, which I'm actually kind of surprised at. And they have 2 sizes right here, but that's not all. Come back here to the back side of the jaws, and what we have is a wire cutter and a wire stripper. And then that little gap right there, if you pay attention right at the base of the jaws, that gap, in my opinion, would actually work out pretty good for crimping some wires. Now, if I'm doing a lot of wire crimps, I'm probably going to use a proper tool. However, in a pinch, pun intended, these would actually handle that task quite well. I dig it. They're beefy pliers. So there is a couple other cool features to these. Yes, they fold up nice and easy. They have some twist outs right here. So we have traditional hex bits, In this case, I've got a #1 Phillips and I have a 3/16 flat blade, probably some of the most common ones you'd use. I have a very large smooth blade knife, and it is, yes, very sharp. It opens and it's got a frame lock, and that frame lock is a beast. So you have to depress it kind of hard, but it does actually inspire confidence because when it latches open, there is no slop in that blade whatsoever. And many frame locks that I've used, especially multi-tools, you get it all the way open and this blade will do this, it'll move a little bit because there's a little bit of lash right there. Not in these. I can actually tell that they're made very well. Here is a center axis forged bit driver. And you might be thinking, why is center axis so important? Well, if you were using this for twisting out bits, if you have the bit driver over here, this is doing this, right? And it doesn't allow you to push in and create a lot of tension and while you're applying torque. And that means that you could be boogering up your fasteners. This one here, with it being in access, it means you can get fasteners out much quicker than with a traditional tool where it's off to the side. This is forged and it looks very beefy. Now, one of the other things I noticed is right here in the bit driver, there is a couple holes. Now, in my opinion, there's a magnet in there, so it is magnetically retained. I wish it was a double-sided bit. It's not, but that's okay. We'll get to that in a minute. This hole right here, in my opinion, is for making J-hooks for bending wire. So you poke the wire through and you give it a twist, and this right here will create those nice loops for your screw down terminals, especially if you're an electrician. So that was a nice touch. And of course, the frame lock is a beast. It's a good one. Now, one of the most interesting tools on this thing is going to be the file. So it's a 3-sided file. We've got one side that's smooth, we've got a rough, coarse, and we've got an edge file, and we got a fine. But take a look at the tip. The tip of this guy is very sharp. Now, this, they say, is a chisel, which, yeah, it'll probably work pretty good as a chisel. I would not use this as a pry tool, okay? A scraper, a chisel, yes, fantastic. And it'll probably stay sharp for a long time because files are very hard, but files are also brittle. So I would not be prying on this file at all because you will probably booger it up proper. And if this is file hardness, that means that if you go and you hit something with this, that like a metal, you will chip it, okay? Files are very brittle, just expect that. However, I really dig that that's built in and it is incredibly sharp. It's very sharp. And if I'm using it as like a scraper, that's probably going to serve a very good purpose. I really dig that they added that on there. Good touch, guys. And man, those frame locks are very tight. Okay, and we also have a saw. And most of these saws, some people are like, yeah, they're not very functional. I've actually had to rely on these kind of saws before, especially out in the middle of nowhere, and it got me out of a bind. So I appreciate this, and it is very sharp. Gerber saws are always very sharp. So be careful. It is a little bit of a beast. And of course the frame lock is a beast as well. So guys, it is an amazing set of pliers. I will give them that. Good set of pliers, and they fold up to a pretty compact size and they fit in their pouch. In my opinion, this is the perfect tool for going in my tire plug kit because if I get something in the tread of my tires, that file with that chisel point can break down some of the rubber, and those jaws, they do have a little bit of a tip that matches up. So if I have small screws or something in the tire, I can grab onto them, I can get a real good purchase on them and pull it out. Now there is one problem with Gerber tools in general. Yes, they open, yes, they're fantastic, but because of their design, they have these two ridges right here, which are scaled out. You have millimeters on one side, you have inches on the other side, and just the same on the other handle. However, you see this big old gap right in here? When you are grabbing on these and you're giving something a hot supper, you are going to feel that. You're going to feel it, all right? I don't care if you got manly hands, feminine hands, no matter what, you're going to feel it. All right. They did a pretty good job about rounding off the corners, and this is very slimline. So it's not like anything sticking out and it's going to poke you in the side. However, they seem like they're pretty good pliers. And, I can squeeze the heck out of them. Yes, it's going to leave some indents in my hand, but if I'm on the side of the road, I will take indents in my hand to have a strong set of pliers, especially the fact that they fold up just like this. They're in this little kit. There you go. So folks, that is the Dual Force by Gerber for 2025. Check it out. The link's in the video description. And this one here is going to be in my tool bag. That's going to be in my car, which your car tool bag, you want it to be as compact as possible and to have as much usability and functionality as possible, because real estate is a premium in a car, especially a 4x4. So there it is, folks. I'm actually giving this one a pretty big thumbs up. This one's going in my car. I love it. Thanks for watching, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below with what you'd like to see in future videos.